Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to recap Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3 of Netflix's $1,000,000 Secret. Before I dive in, this is my second season recapping. If you like this video, consider liking, subscribing, and checking out my Season 1 recaps, which I'll link below. But let's dive into it, starting with Episode 1, titled Millionaire Mind Games. We're so back. 14 new contestants, here to lie, cheat, and steal for $1,000,000 cash prize. Once again, hosted by Fancy Pants Peter, who's fondling his sack, waiting for players to arrive. Players will draw keys at random, knowing one of their rooms contains the $1,000,000. We meet Mom Daisy, whose kids told her to be chill, so she's obviously not chill, quickly fawning over other competitor Hunter. Kevin from Kansas wants to be as honest as possible to gain everyone's trust. Back home, Alti is a politician, but he's here pretending to be a high school social studies teacher. Nick tells people he's from Miami, but stumbles on his words, saying he's really from Jersey, so people are suspicious of Nick. Daisy's crush Hunter tells us he's pretending to be the lovable idiot and be underestimated. There's two Laurens, which won't be confusing at all. Peter shows up and fills them in. One of their rooms has the $1,000,000. Whoever has it has to keep it a secret. And if they can keep the secret at the end of the season, they can keep the money. Also, one other player will be given a clue about the secret millionaire in their box, telling them happy hunting. Players head to their rooms, and we learn that fake social studies teacher Alti is our first billionaire. He says he grew up poor and wants to use his money to help his family. And Natalie, who we don't know much about yet, gets a clue that the millionaire is a firstborn child, but she's also a firstborn child. Alti is summoned to meet Peter in his liquor room, known by him as his private study. The only thing Peter's studying there is the bottom of his glass. In the study, Peter tells Alti he has a mission, a secret agenda. If he achieves his agenda, he'll get a kill shot to use at the elimination tomorrow. If he fails his agenda, he'll start next week with 3 votes against him. Alti's agenda is he's given a few phrases. He has to choose one phrase and repeat it 10 times throughout conversations. So he gets a bunch of options, including no cap and bye Felicia. Peter informs Alti that no cap is slang for keeping it real. Alti likes that, so he's on mission no cap. Alti tells Peter he has 16 grandchildren who he's got to treat with that mulala, so he departs, telling Peter no cap. Players are summoned to a gala and start grilling each other. Kevin is asking everyone what was in their boxes. Natalie tells the group there was nothing in her box, but even if they didn't get a special thing, they had a welcome note, so they already know Natalie had something in her box and is lying. Alti starts his no cap marathon. That no cap to me flows from his lips like butter. Natalie starts asking people about their families, which makes Yumiko uncomfortable. Kevin asks Alti about his note, and since he didn't get a welcome note, he improvs a note and fumbles through some BS that sounds close to true. Nick notices Alti saying no cap and finds it hard to believe that Alti would really say no cap, so he's eyeing Alti as a potential millionaire. The next day, breakfast by the pool. On the menu, bagels, pancakes, and smoothies that look kinda gross. Daisy greets everyone with hugs, hoping to be so lovable that no one ever wants her to leave, but Kevin thinks Daisy's hugs could be an agenda. He tells Natalie not to hug Daisy. Natalie continues her investigation, finding out that Hunter is the firstborn in his family. She lies, saying she's the second oldest. Alti completes his no cap agenda, and players head to their daily challenge, where they find AI generated portraits of themselves that look like crap, with apples on their heads. Half of the players will be shooters, half targets, all chosen at random. Shooters will pick one target. If they can shoot their apple, the shooter goes to the trophy room. If they miss, their target goes to the trophy room. Targets will have the option to reveal a truth about themselves. If they do, they'll make their shooter move further away. Shooter Nick chooses Umiko as a target. Umiko finds that her truth is that she's a firstborn child, which she lied to Natalie about the night before, so she chooses not to reveal it now, making her look a bit suspicious. Even at close range, Nick misses, so Umiko will go to the trophy room. Shooter Casey targets Kevin. Kevin's truth is he thinks Nick is sus, which he reveals, giving Casey a difficult shot, which she misses, so Kevin heads to the trophy room. Shooter Kat targets Lauren T, who reveals her truth that she has an older sister, clearing to Natalie that she's not the millionaire. And Kat misses so bad she hits the wrong person's portrait. Such a mess. And what a great day to be Lauren T, who we knew nothing about besides her name being Lauren. Shooter Hunter targets the other Lauren, who reveals her truth that she is a firstborn child, another suspect for Natalie. Hunter hits Lauren's apple and earns a spot in the trophy room. Alti targets Daisy. Her truth is that she lied and only has 2 kids, when she told the group she has 3. She chooses not to reveal her truth, making it obvious she's lying about something. At close range, Alti hits Daisy's apple, so he's one of our challenge winners. Shooter Melissa targets Tarek, whose truth he reveals to the group is he thinks Natalie's lying about her box. At long range, Melissa nails Tarek's apple. Natalie is the final shooter, and even after rancher Caleb exposes his truth that he's an award-winning real estate agent, Natalie hits his apple. Daisy gets up and runs across the field to hug Natalie. Daisy is doing way too much with the hugs. Peter then reveals to the group group that the millionaire completed their agenda and will have a kill shot at elimination if they aren't caught. Back at the stag, Natalie continues her investigation, now with millionaire Alti, who tells her he's a firstborn child. Alti knows at this point that Natalie has the clue and is interrogating him. Hunter proposes to the group that they all decide one person they trust to get information in the trophy room, hinting that he wants to be chosen. So the challenge winners head to the trophy room, where Peter asks them to choose a player to get the information. Natalie quickly pushes that they choose Lauren T to get the clue because she knows Lauren is clear. This annoys Hunter, who says Natalie's coming out of left field. So they vote, and everyone except Natalie and Melissa vote for Hunter, who joins Peter in the study to get the information. Peter gives Hunter a clue that the millionaire completed their agenda by keeping it real. Hunter shares the keeping it real clue with the group. Alti tells us he's feeling like nervous Purvis. Alti's plan is to deflect onto Daisy and Natalie. Natalie pulls Hunter to chat, revealing to him that she has the clue about the firstborn child. Hunter is still so annoyed with Natalie about her plan in the trophy room, telling her he thinks that she could be lying about the clue and she is the millionaire. She calls him an idiot and storms off. The challenge winners continue to be annoyed about Natalie's behavior in the trophy room, so players head to dinner with Natalie and Daisy, the group's biggest suspects. Nick at this point knows that Alti is the millionaire. He's figured out the no cap connection, but is considering keeping it to himself. Players are served a plate that looks like a messy pile. Culinary arts confuse me. Peter opens the conversation, which is started by Hunter, who calls Natalie out for calling him an idiot and revealing to him that she had the clue. So she confesses about the clue, and she wants to ask the group questions, asking everyone who she doesn't know their birth order, getting Casey to reveal she's a firstborn, and Umiko does reveal that she's firstborn and that she lied to Natalie previously. So Natalie reveals that the clue was that the millionaire is a firstborn child, and suspects are Hunter, Lauren, Casey, Umiko, and Alti. And Natalie thinks Daisy is lying about her birth order. Daisy swears on her kids' lives that she is not the millionaire. They talk about the keep it real clue. Nick takes a big swig of his wine and tells the group that he feels confidently Alti is the millionaire, which leads us to episode 2, titled $1 Million Hat Trick, where Nick tells the group he heard Alti say no cap multiple times. Alti becomes defensive and deflects back to Daisy and her hugging addiction. Players head to a vote. The player with the most votes will go home, and if the millionaire isn't caught, they'll use their kill shot to send a second player home. In the end, the majority of players voted Alti as millionaire. On his way out, Alti reveals to the group that he had the $1 million and that no cap was his secret mission. So we lose Alti here, who was a friendly presence in his 1 episode and 5 minutes, a politician in disguise as a teacher. They should have let him cook more on that. He's given the agenda to say a phrase 10 times, and as usual, doing the agenda completely screws you over. Ultimately, I guess he should have chosen not to try the agenda and take the 3 votes. He would have likely been safe if Nick didn't have that piece of information, but he was yet another victim of the show, randomly throwing certain millionaires under the bus, no cap. After Alti's departure, the group gives Nick his flowers for catching the millionaire, but now Hunter sees Nick as a big threat. The next morning, breakfast is served, Eggies cooked to perfection. Peter shows up, telling them that a new millionaire will be selected, and if this millionaire completes their agenda, they'll now have the kill shot at the elimination. In his room, Caleb finds out he's the new millionaire and joins Peter in the study where they're studying bourbon. Peter tells Caleb his agenda is to get 3 guests to wear one of his hats. If he can do it, he'll get the kill shot, and if he fails, he'll have the 3 votes against him at elimination. Players mingle around the stag, except Tarek, who is chosen to lay down because on this show, people just be getting sick all the time. Natalie notices Lauren T is doing handstands in the yard. Lauren, girl, what are you doing? So Natalie thinks Lauren is the millionaire for her gymnastics. Natalie is already telling people she knows who the millionaire is. Daisy tells us she thinks Natalie is cuckoo. Caleb changes into his cowboy hat, feeling like he'll have better luck in this mission in that hat. Peter tells the group that Tarek is sick and won't be joining them for the majority of this round. For their challenge, players split into teams, with team captain Nick choosing Hunter, Casey, Lauren T, Umiko, and Kat, and Captain Melissa choosing Kevin, Caleb, Natalie, Lauren G, and Daisy. Teams will be playing a treasure hunt, with the winning team gaining access to the trophy room and immunity from the kill shot. Players will play a record on their turntable to get a hint to find an item in the stag. The team with the most of 5 items found in their time period will win the challenge. As they strategize, Natalie tells her group she thinks Lauren is the millionaire because she did handstands. They do agree they saw Lauren do the handstands. So the players do their little scavenger hunt, through which Natalie continues to make Daisy think she is cuckoo and aggressive. In the end, it's a tie, with both teams having 2 items, but the fastest team and winners of the challenge are Melissa's team. She, Kevin, Caleb, Natalie, Lauren G, and Daisy will all be immune from the kill shot and have access to the trophy room. Back in the stag, Caleb is running out of time to do his agenda. Tarek rejoins them, learning about the challenge, clearly still not feeling well. Natalie continues to target Lauren T for her handstands. Hunter is still annoyed with Natalie for being Natalie. Caleb is trying to do his task, but he's being awkward about it Hesitating, he decides to tell Amiko that he has a secret agenda, but that he's not the millionaire, telling her he has to get 3 people to put his hat on, and that if he does it, he'll get an extra vote. She likes that he came to her and happily puts on his hat. They bring this to Kat and Hunter, who both play along and wear the hat. Later, Hunter tells Lauren T that Natalie is coming for her, so Lauren confronts Natalie. Natalie blames Hunter for turning Lauren against her, and Natalie calls Lauren defensive. This blowup has made the group suspicious of both Lauren T and Natalie. Meanwhile, Caleb is yeeing and hawing in peace. The next day, a pool party as players get gorgeous B-roll for their modeling reels. Later, the challenge winners head to the trophy room, where the group agrees that team captain Melissa should get the clue. The clue is that in the first challenge, the millionaire was straight as an arrow. Melissa decides to keep this clue to herself for now. At this point, Caleb and his accomplices, Amiko, Kat, and Hunter, feel like an alliance who are just going to vote together and vote for Natalie. So players head to dinner, where Nick, Hunter, Lauren T, Amiko, Kat, and Tarek are eligible for the kill shot. Now, how'd sick Tarek get in it? Peter reveals that the millionaire completed their task and has the kill shot, and Melissa shares the clue that the millionaire was straight as an arrow. They think it means either the millionaire hit an apple or told the truth in that challenge. Natalie brings up that Lauren did handstands, and Lauren defends that she's a yoga teacher. Handstands just be what she do. Daisy calls out Natalie, saying Natalie accuses people all the time, and that Natalie consistently talks down to Daisy. And if they were home, Natalie would be on the floor. Dang, Daisy. She'll hug you, but she'll knock you out. Natalie gets emotional, telling the group she had parents who are immigrants, and she's competitive for the money to give back to her parents. Casey defends Natalie, saying she still thinks Lauren T is the millionaire. So players head to a vote, where in the end, Natalie has the most votes and is out of the game. And Peter reveals that the millionaire put the kill shot on Tarek, so he's eliminated too. So we lose these 2 players. Firstly, Natalie, who was giving main character energy, getting that first clue and using it to wreak havoc on the other players. She got a lot of points from me for playing hard, making accusations, being fabulous, causing drama, calling people idiots. I really like her, but she called a lot of attention to herself and made enemies, so clearly didn't play a good game. I would love to see her again on TV. Let's get Natalie on the challenge. And Tarek, who was there, he wasn't playing a very good game. He randomly voted for Emiko in the first round, which wasn't explained. He got sick, then gets sniped out of the game, and he was very upset about it, so I don't know what was going on with Tarek. Release the Tarek edit. Following their departures, Kat thinks it's suspicious that Peter didn't reveal that someone had another advantage. She's now realizing that she got tricked by Caleb, and he's really the millionaire, which leads us into episode 3, titled Troubled Waters, where the arrow clue has narrowed down to 6 suspects: Hunter, Melissa, Lauren G, Kevin, Caleb, and Lauren T. Caleb meets with Peter, who tells Caleb that his lie was messy, because if Caleb had a different agenda, Peter would have announced it. For his agenda in this round, Peter tells Caleb he has to be Kevin's shadow for 45 minutes straight at some point in the day. If he fails, there will be 3 votes against him. If he succeeds, he'll get the choice of having 2 extra votes at elimination, or to move the money to somebody else. He chooses he wants to move the money, so he has to complete his agenda before elimination and survive the vote to be a brokey again. At breakfast, a simple yogurt. The way the food last season was so much better. This season, they are shamefully not lingering for more than a second on the food. Kat and Amiko reassure Lauren T that they don't think she's suspicious for doing handstands. Caleb starts following Kevin around. He has to stay within 15 feet of Kevin, so he's just lingering. Kat pulls Hunter for a chat, bringing up the cowboy hat deal that they made with Caleb. She tells Hunter that Caleb is probably the millionaire and that Caleb kept them safe from the kill shot. They decide they don't care about getting the millionaire out. They'd rather be protected by the millionaire, and they're okay with cutting Lauren T loose at this point. Kevin and Caleb play chess. Kevin tells Caleb that Melissa's being suspicious and manipulating the trophy room clue to keep herself safe. Kevin asks Caleb to join him in investigating Melissa, so they go talk to Melissa, who becomes defensive when they bring up her clue. Outside, Kat tells Amiko that Caleb is protecting them, and they agree to protect him back. Kevin asks Caleb for some space to talk to Lauren T. Caleb is like, "No, I need to stick with you," telling Kevin that he's doing someone a favor and he needs to stay in Kevin's proximity. Caleb's a mess. He is just not going to leave Kevin alone, so Kevin gives up on talking to Lauren. While Caleb is outside making himself look bad, Hunter is inside trying to make Caleb look good by pointing out that Lauren T has been asking people their ages, but Kevin is announcing to literally everyone that Caleb is following him around. Caleb whispers to Kevin that Melissa tasked Caleb into rattling Kevin's cage, and that's why he's following him. So 45 minutes pass. Caleb's agenda is complete. He releases Kevin, whose cage has been rattled. Melissa is shocked and pissed that Caleb brought her name into it. Melissa swears to Kevin she never said that, and that she's hot as a tamale. But players head to the cove for their next activity. Peter asks for 5 volunteers to be divers. The rest will be investigators. Kat, Casey, Kevin, Hunter, and Daisy volunteer to be the divers. As they head out, Caleb has a new plan: to plead insanity, telling the group group that he simply has lost his mind. In the challenge, the divers have to dive down to retrieve Peter's golf balls. Each golf ball is surrounded by unique objects. The divers will each describe what they saw to the group. The interrogators have to decide if they're lying or telling the truth about what they saw. Their goal is to trick the interrogators. The group with the most points out of 5 will go to the trophy room. Hunter and Kevin both tell the truth, and the interrogators guess truth, giving the interrogators 2 points. Daisy and Casey successfully lie, and it all comes down to Kat, who tells the truth in a suspicious way, tricking the interrogators and making the divers the challenge winners. Rightfully so, the other group did literally nothing. Kat's plan is to get the clue and lie about it to protect Caleb. The divers head to the trophy room, where Hunter pushes Kat's name to get the clue, and Kat ends up going to the study with Peter. Kat tells Peter she's playing dumb, but she knows who the millionaire is. The clue is, to be on a first name basis with the millionaire, you need to remember the first letter. This clue was so vague. I guess it means there's an A in the millionaire's name. Crazy that this clue had nothing to do with Caleb following Kevin. Kat tells the group this random clue, telling them she thinks the first letter of the clue is T, so that points to Lauren T. Kat fills Caleb in that she knows he's the millionaire and wants to repay him for keeping her. She encourages him not to give up and defend himself when he's called out for following Kevin around. So players head to the elimination dinner, where Peter tells the group that the millionaire completed their task. Players all agree that Caleb was following Kevin around all day. Caleb's defense is that he wouldn't have been such a mess if he were the millionaire, and he used Melissa's name to blame for it because he panicked. Hunter continues to defend Caleb, saying there was a T in the clue, so it's probably Lauren T. Casey, Melissa, and Lauren T all express they think Caleb is the millionaire, and they head to the vote. In the end, Lauren T gets the most votes, is eliminated, and reveals that her box is empty. So we lose Lauren T, who we learned was a yoga teacher. She did get to show that off by doing her handstands, but Lauren, you shouldn't have done that, especially on the day when someone has an agenda. If you really cared about the game, you shouldn't be doing things that make you stand out at that time. So I completely understand why she was eliminated, and I'm happy that there's just one Lauren there now. Following Lauren's departure, Peter tells the group that the millionaire chose to move the money to another box. Kat feels bad because she sent her friend Lauren home now for really no reason. Peter tells the group that the new millionaire will have the opportunity to do a double barrel kill shot and eliminate 2 players from the game. The episode ends with Nick finding out that he's the new millionaire, so he'll have the opportunity to send 2 players home next week if he's not eliminated. My prediction for what'll happen next is this whole plot happened this week with Caleb and Kat, and their alliance has to get exposed. The show loves to throw people under. I think it'll all blow back on Kat, who was the pusher for this elimination. So my prediction is the group doesn't figure out it's Nick. They banish someone random like Daisy or Casey, and Nick takes a shot and eliminates Caleb and Kat. If I had to pick a winner for the season after this batch of episodes, I'm going to say Hunter. He's playing strategically, is well liked, and is the one player I feel has the situation figured out on a higher level. I'm confident if he ended up with the money in the future, he'd be able to get away with it. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of these episodes? And Alti, Natalie, Tarek, and Lauren T's eliminations. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next Wednesday with the next batch of episodes. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.